Right now at 6 a.m., back in the building. Nearly all CMS students now officially learning in person.
We've got a lot of rebuilding to do, and I'm just excited to get to it.
Education leaders
slowing the spread. More counties across North Carolina showing a dip in COVID numbers. How Mecklenburg County compares.
delayed doses. COVID vaccines stuck in transit because of last week's winter storm. Finally headed to the Carolinas. When they'll reach your neighborhood.
An added cost. Charlotte's new soccer team announcing an expensive extra fee for folks who want season tickets. The response from fans this morning. Wake Up Charlotte at 6 a.m. starts right now.
You're watching Wake Up Charlotte on WCNC Charlotte.
Give yourself some extra time to get to work today. We are seeing some foggy conditions across the area, depending on where you are. Conditions looking fairly clear in Uptown right now, but Mecklenburg and some surrounding counties under a dense fog advisory as we speak.
Good news, we've got you covered on what you can expect as you head out the door this morning. Let's start off with Larry Sprinkle. He's got the details of your forecast. A bit of fog out there, but going to be a really nice day.
Should be a beautiful day, and it depends upon where you are. It's all according to geography. Uptown looking really good. We had day after day where you could not see any of the buildings at Uptown, so it's okay here, okay in Rock Hill in South Carolina. Our Mr. Sparky Carolina Camera Network looking good down there in the Palmetto State. There are some areas with patchy, even some dense fog, so if you're heading out the door, there are many spots that look like that. Dangerous driving in many locations along Highway 74, Monroe, Wadesboro, and Rockingham. Look at that, quarter of a mile visibility in those areas, so be careful out there. That advisory in effect. Check it out today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Really nice and mild spring-like temperatures out there. Let's talk about it hour by hour. 9 a.m. 39, 51 by 11 o'clock this morning, right there in the middle of the afternoon. 63 degrees at 3 o'clock. Even around 9 o'clock tonight, pretty mild at 52 degrees under clear skies. Is traffic clear this morning? Let's get a check on the commutes. Here is Ruby Durham.
Good morning, Larry. We do have an accident at Billy Graham Parkway right at Tryon Street. We also still have that accident Morge Chapel Road just west of Sam Wilson Road. So two things to watch out for this morning, as well as that fog that's not going to clear up until about 9 o'clock this morning. Definitely take it slow into your morning drive this morning, but overall our interstates are looking pretty good traffic-wise. Ben and Carolyn.
Ruby, thanks so much. Today, the CMS School Board will discuss students returning to the classroom. Wake Up Charlotte's Richard Devane live at CMS headquarters right now. So, Richard, it is an important meeting today. We know older students are now having to adjust to back into the classroom. They've been learning remotely for almost a year now.
Yeah, absolutely correct. 11 months they've been learning remotely. They started to come back yesterday to class. They want to get them back full time. It all depends on how these metrics, these COVID metric numbers look, and that's what they'll be briefed on today.
CMS School Board members will get their weekly look at how the district is dealing with COVID-19. Overall metric numbers continue to remain steady in most cases, with some numbers actually declining over the last few updates. All of this amidst the backdrop of middle and high schoolers who've returned to class starting yesterday. This under Plan B, which alternates in-class instruction along with remote learning on a revolving basis. Last week, the 49,000 students who attended school in the district had 49 of them testing positive for COVID-19. And there were 36 new cases among the district's 19,000 staff members. CMS says it has very strict protocols in place for middle and high schoolers who they say are at greater risk than younger children for spreading or catching the virus.
And we want to do all that we can to make sure that our students are heeding the guidance that we put out there for them, but also when they're not with us.
And Superintendent Winston says that mainly starts at home. He says it's a collective project that everyone must work on to keep everyone safe. Another item they'll be talking about today is possible graduation times, how they'll do graduations and when they'll do graduations, if they'll look anything like they were traditionally or something like they looked just last year. We're at CMS headquarters. Richard Devane for Wake Up Charlotte.
Richard, thanks so much. And new this morning, students in Fort Mill are headed back into the classroom full time. The district announcing middle and high schools will resume in-person learning 5 days a week. This will all start on March 15th. Students have the option to stay in virtual learning if they want to. Elementary schoolers, by the way, are already in the classroom full time.
Approaching 6:05 right now, turning to other big stories in the morning in your morning rush. Tomorrow, teachers will become eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine here in North Carolina, and several local districts have plans to get started immediately. Teachers from Gaston County, Iredell, Statesville, and Watauga County schools will roll up their sleeves tomorrow. Several other districts have clinics planned for later in the week.
The North Carolina Health Department says last week's vaccine shipments should finally reach their destinations by tomorrow. Those shipments were stalled by the severe weather that happened across much of the country. Local counties expected to receive both last week's and this week's shipments by tomorrow, and will update their vaccine appointments accordingly.
Tonight, Chester County school leaders are answering your questions about sending kids back to the classroom. The school board is hosting a virtual town hall at 6 p.m. Right now, the majority of Chester County students are on a hybrid schedule with multiple days in the classroom every week.
I'm Tracy Potts. President Biden holding his first bilateral meeting with a foreign leader today. Canada's Justin Trudeau. He and the Prime Minister are expected to talk about trade, climate, and the pandemic response. On Capitol Hill, a joint committee hearing about last month's Capitol attack. Testifying today, the D.C. police chief, the former Capitol police chief, and both the House and Senate sergeants at arms. They resigned after that attack.
A local senior living center reporting its second major COVID-19 outbreak. The Caldwell County Health Department says 151 people have tested positive since January at Hickory Falls Health and Rehabilitation. That includes 49 staff members and 102 patients. Now, we're working to find out if anyone at that facility has received the COVID-19 vaccine. And that's it for your Morning Rush.
All right, new this morning, we are getting a brand new look of the state of this pandemic across the state of North Carolina. Here's a look at the map. Keep in mind, yellow means significant spread of the virus. Orange means substantial, and red means critical. You don't want to be red. Here's how it stands right now. Mecklenburg County back down to orange. It had been red for a few months, but keep in mind, when you look at Gaston and several other surrounding counties, they're still in a bad way when it comes to this virus. But some historical context is important here. Take a look at where we were just over a month ago. The entire state awash in that red color, which again meant critical spread. And you look at us right now, we've come a long way still to go, but we are in fact making progress. All right, Larry, what is that one thing we need to know in weather?
One thing you need to know, weather headlines, areas of fog this morning, but a beautiful day shaping up. 59 degrees at 1 o'clock. By about 3 o'clock today, we're at 63 degrees and sunny. Now, it's one thing we need to know about that commute this morning, Ruby Durham.
Well, the one thing you need to know if you're in Gaston County, we got a road closure happening at 8:30 this morning that you need to know about. I-85 southbound Ram to 74, that's exit 10B. They're going to be doing some road work out there, so it's going to be closed at 3:30. It's for asphalt repairs. Carolyn?
Ruby, thanks so much. All right, this morning there's a lot of buzz about ticket prices for the Charlotte Football Club. That's the MLS soccer team making its debut in Charlotte. It is the first team in the league that's requiring you buy a personal seat license, so the PSL, to even buy season tickets. The one-time PSL fee, anywhere from $350 to $900. Then on top of that, you have to pay the season tickets price. Some of those are up to $2,200 a seat. It is important to note that you can get season tickets in what they're calling the supporters section. That's just one, though, of I think 14 different sections. It's the only section where you don't have to pay that extra PSL fee on top of the season ticket fee. For any other season ticket, you're going to be paying extra. The Charlotte Football Club says that the part of the reason these prices are so high are because they're adding in perks. So you get free food and beverage credits for every game, and you have access to these these lounges, the club level lounges. The Carolina Panthers, Charlotte Hornets, it's important to note that they also have these PSL fees. A lot of fans, though, are still frustrated. Alex saying he thought that this would be a great way to have some affordable fun, knowing that there's soccer, but nope, not so much. Scotty saying he was going to give soccer a chance until he saw the prices. And Austin saying he always dreamed about having a Charlotte team's season tickets, but now the dream is going to continue because it's practically impossible with how much these prices are at this point. So let us know what you think. Too much? Weigh in. Use the hashtag WakeUpCLT. So I looked on the website, Ben. I was very excited. I love soccer, and having Major League Soccer in Charlotte is super exciting.
Yeah.
That's a tough pill to swallow. I don't have that kind of money.
I mean, the thing is, this is like the ultimate family activity to do, and who can afford?
I know, it prices everybody out.
I mean, you take your husband or wife and a couple of kids. I mean, You're talking a lot of money.
A lot of money.
For a Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon or something like that. That's a bad thing. All right, coming up. Push back because of the pandemic. Why COVID will most likely cause an election here in Charlotte to be delayed by a year.
The likelihood of us having an election in 2021, I think, is slim to none.
Plus, testing switch up, the major new change to road tests in North Carolina for teenagers getting their driver's license.
And a new lease on life. The popular Uptown restaurant getting a second chance after closing its doors because of the pandemic.
And hey, a heads up, if you love Chick-fil-A, and we know so many of you do, the fast food chain making some big changes to the menu, according to Business Insider. It's getting rid of decaf coffee and bagels. The chain is also doing away with the 4- and 6-piece nuggets, replacing them with a 5-piece meal, so they're going somewhere in the middle. They're also reducing the number of sizes offered for coffee, for milkshakes, and ice cream cones. The chicken sandwich is safe.
Tuesday night's got a brand new catchphrase.
If you smell
what the Keenan is cooking.
Oh, wow.